Pilots of the internet, in this video we are announcing the 2023 Foldable Flight Paper Airplane Designers Contest, where you get to submit your best paper airplanes and potentially have them featured on this channel. Now I am so stoked for this year because it is going to be bigger and better than ever. The grand prize winners will have their planes featured on this channel with a customized template specific to their plane, and they will receive a trophy featuring their name and a custom illustration of their plane on it. Now, part of why I'm so excited for this year is we actually have some guest judges helping to select the winners, and these judges are some of the very best paper airplane designers in the world. Our first judge is Dylan Rubel, who is a member of the team who just set the world record for paper airplane distance at 289 feet, and he actually designed that plane. Our second judge is Julian Chi, the person who designed the plane that broke the world record right before Dylan did. And then our third judge is the man himself, John the Paper Airplane Guy Collins, who held the world record for paper airplane distance for over a decade. And with that, let's see the grand prize winners from last year's contest in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold them. You're looking at Solar Flare, which is just an absolutely amazing paper airplane designed by Aiden Dominguez. So congratulations, Aiden, for an amazing submission and for winning this customized trophy featuring Solar Flare and your name on it. All you will need in order to fold Solar Flare is a sheet of 8.5 by 11 or A4 paper. You can also use a pen and a ruler, but that is optional. And with that, we're going to begin by folding the right edge to the left edge. Go ahead and open your paper up, and now fold your top edge to the bottom edge. Once you do that, open the paper up again and fold your bottom edge to the crease you just made. And now we'll open it up and flip the paper over and pull this horizontal crease to your bottom horizontal crease. Just line that up and crease all the way across. Now we'll go ahead and open it up again and pull this to that crease. You can go ahead and flip your paper over and kind of sharpen that crease on this side, and then flip this whole little flap down just like that, and then flip your paper back over. Now we're going to go ahead and fold our top edge here into the center, just making a triangle. Do the same thing on the other side. And now we're going to fold this top portion down. Now, if you're using A4 paper, you would fold right across the bottom of these layers. With 8.5 by 11, you're going to estimate 1/2 inch above this. You can actually measure if you're using a ruler, but it's really not necessary. And you can see I'm folding it down just like this. And now I'm going to fold this edge here into the center. Do the same thing on the left side. And then let's go ahead and open those layers up for a moment. And we're going to fold this point here up to the top. Unfold, fold the point to that point right there. And then pull this point up so that the crease you just made lands on the crease just behind it, like so. And then we can close this all back up. And now I'm going to kind of rotate it here just to work on it this way. And I want to fold right along this edge, pulling this in. And I make sure that my back edge here is landing on itself. So I know the crease I'm making is perpendicular to the back edge of my plane. I'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side here. And your plane should look like this. Now I'm going to open that up on both sides. And basically, I'm going to reverse this crease I just made, kind of opening the paper up, folding in on that hinge, and then gathering these layers really neatly into one hand like this. And I actually want to lay them down this direction, making a new crease just behind that one, the same exact crease on this layer behind it. I'll do the same thing over here. So I'm reaching into this pocket and forcing it open, folding on that existing crease there, gathering the layers, and then laying them down just like this. Okay, now we're to the point where you might want to use your ruler, but again, you really don't have to. Basically, if you're using 8.5 by 11, your fins are going to be 3/4 of an inch from this side. And again, you can really just estimate this, so don't feel like you have to use a ruler. If you are using A4, you're going to measure 2 centimeters from your edge and make a little mark. Again, you can estimate these, so don't feel like you have to use a pen and ruler if you don't have one on hand. Okay, and from these points, we're going to fold from that point to this corner. And you'll see the layers are gonna open up in a weird way here. As I do this, I'm just placing my crease on this top layer. So I'm allowing that to open up right at that point and pulling it to that back corner, just like so. And once I do that, I can flatten it by pulling my crease here right to that corner there. And that's my reference. And then I sweep out the slack towards the edge. Just like that. Okay, I'll do the same exact thing on the other side. So I'm folding from this point right here to this corner. And now pulling tight to right there and sweeping out right here. Okay, and now I'm going to fold this little tab right over that layer, and then I'll reverse it and tuck it in behind. Do the same thing over here. And now we're ready to kind of tuck some layers in behind everything else. You can see we have this layer right here, that horizontal layer. Basically, I want to fold from this point here where this layer intersects that edge to the point where this layer intersects that layer behind it. So I'm just pulling the layers right like this while I have the paper in this position. I'll fold right from this point to, I'll show you, land that layer right there, that corner right along this layer. And I'll just leave everything in this position while I do the same thing on the other side. So I'm folding from this point right here to the point where this layer intersects the layer behind it. And then I'll fold in just like this. And now basically I need to reverse this so that this whole tab I created goes behind all the other layers. And there are a lot of layers here, so it can be a little tricky. You can gently ease it as you reverse it, and then you can tuck that behind everything behind it, just like that. And the thicker your paper, the harder that will be, but it's never too hard. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So again, I'm just kind of gently easing it as I reverse those creases. Just like that. And now everything's locked together. Now we can go ahead and flip the paper over. And I want to fold along the existing crease I have there. Basically, I'm just pulling this whole tab over. This will become the fin right along that crease. And be gentle, kind of roll it into the right shape so that this doesn't get too warped. And continue your crease all the way beyond to where it intersects this edge. Okay, and I'll do the same exact thing on the other side. Okay, and we are really close to being done at this point. Now I am going to pull and make a crease that runs right from this point here to this point here. And that point is where the center crease intersects this horizontal crease you have. And that's basically the limit of the pocket at the front. So you're just pulling it right from there, the base of the fin, to the center crease, and applying a crease. And then you're going to do the same exact thing on the other side. And now you can see when we close the plane up, that whole section swings forward like a joint. And when we fold our wings, we want to fold wings that are parallel. The wing crease should be parallel to our fin crease, and it should go right through this point of that joint right there. And when I do one side, I actually like to unfold it and then fold the other side so I don't rip that joint right in the middle that's going to lock the plane together. So I'm just rolling the layers gently, finding that crease now that I made on the other wing and lining this wing up with that. Creasing right through that joint there, all the way to the front. And there you go. Now all we have left to do is set the angle of the fins and the angle of the wings. You can see from the back, those fins should be straight up. Your wings should be really nice and level all the way across. And you will probably find that you need just a little bit of up elevator on this plane, so you can bend the back edges up just a little bit as you need. If you find that it's still nosing down, then just bend the back edges up a little bit more. And with that, good luck flying your plane. Bosklapper is an absolutely incredible performance glider designed by Jef Pauwels that can stay in the air for a very, very long period of time. But part of what I loved about it so much is not only is it this great glider, but it doubles as a very consistent boomerang plane. And I've had as much fun throwing this paper airplane as pretty much any paper airplane ever, so I hope you'll fold it and enjoy it as much as I did. I'm going to teach you how to fold Bosklapper in 2 minutes or less. So get ready. On your mark, get set, go. Fold it in half like this. Open it up and fold your top edge to the bottom, but just make a little pinch crease like so. Open it up, fold to your pinch crease, and just make another pinch crease. Rotate it, fold this down to your bottom pinch crease and crease all the way across. Now fold your top edge into the center, just like that, and do the same exact thing on the other side. Now you're going to fold this edge here in, and you want to make this parallel to the bottom crease or layer that you have there. If you're using A4, make sure the gap here to here is the same as the gap from there to there. If you're using 8.5 by 11 paper, just make sure that your edge that you're making here is a ½ inch above the bottom layer that you had just below it. Do that on both sides, and you're only having to crease to the center crease to prepare for a rabbit ear. So if you fold on both of those at the same time, you can see it will collapse into this shape here. That's called a rabbit ear. And you can fold that to the right, fold that to the left, and then you can stand it up. And you're going to open it up with your thumb and just kind of press down on that spine of the pocket like so to squash fold it. Now go ahead and tuck this little triangle behind the layers that are immediately behind it. Fold this in half like so, gently so you don't rip it. And then fold the wings just over that point and sloping slightly up towards the back, just like so. Do the same on the other side. And then fold winglets parallel to your center crease. And there you go. You have a finished Bosklapper. This plane should fly really, really well for you. I do recommend just a couple tips here. So whether you want this to be a great airtime plane or a boomerang plane, you're going to want to bend the back edges up just a little bit. And with that, congratulations once again to Jef, and good luck flying your plane. You're looking at Frostbite, designed by Aleks, Karlsen, and Vanguard Studios. Now you can see the plane looks amazing as it is. It has an air intake, tail fins, afterburners. This thing is incredible. Congratulations to both of you for your amazing submission and for winning a customized trophy featuring your name on it and an image of Frostbite. All you will need in order to fold Frostbite is a square sheet of paper. If this is your first time folding the plane, I recommend something big like a 10 by 10 square, but you can use smaller squares as well. Now I must warn you, Frostbite is quite difficult to fold and the tutorial is quite long, so I've just left it in its own video. If you'd like to learn how to fold that plane, you can click the card on the top right corner and that'll take you to the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are interested in entering the contest, be sure to head over to foldableflight.com/contest where you can read the rules for entry. Of course, there is a link in the description below. I look forward to seeing your submissions and seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much to all of my patrons who are supporting this channel and making these videos possible. I'm now releasing a new tier where you can become the pilot of your favorite foldable flight paper airplane, and your name will appear next to the paper airplane you choose in each of my YouTube videos. So head over to patreon.com/foldableflight and join the Foldable Fleet today.